Greetings once again, pirate on the high seas. Duuz-Diz-Din back again, still under the weather but still chugging along. Now, previously on One Piece, Luffy had his first conversation with the Gorosei, the Five Elder, essentially taking York hostage and trying to use her as a bargaining chip in order to get out of Egghead. We saw that Robin and Kaku were the only ones majorly injured, and the confirmation that Shaka and Pythagoras were indeed dead. A shame, cause man, Shaka with that drip, I wanted that jacket. Wonder if I could steal it off his body. The Cypher Pole agents are no longer in containment and are being fed, although they are still locked in the bathroom. Not the bathroom, the basement. Never lock anyone in the bathroom. You never know when you're gonna have to actually use it. The Seraphim have been locked in the Sea Stone bubble, and we find out that S-Snake was convinced by Luffy, because love is genetic, to undo the hardening she had on everybody. And so the Straw Hats and the Vegapunks come up with a plan to use the Vega Force 1 robot to fly out, get as far as it can because it only works in the atmosphere of Egghead, and then use the Sunny's Coup burst to rocket on out of there. That should give them enough distance away from the Marine. They want to finally head to Elbath, since that's the closest other location near them. Elbath. However, York has the Frontier Dome locked down with a special password, so Vegapunk, Edison, and Atlas have to go all in order to try to figure this out. Meanwhile, Luffy, Frankie, and Bonnie, as well as Lilith, head out to the Thousand Sunny and the Vega Force 1. We also find out that Bonnie has completely dismissed whatever ill intent she had to Vegapunk. I really am wondering what happened in that flashback bubble she entered. We also have Saturn and Kizaru deciding how they'll take on Egghead, because they also want the plant, the energy plant, that creates the Mother Flame in order to still use the weapon. And apparently, discreetly, Rob Lucci has been feeding information to the Marines outside, though how he's been able to get this information out is anyone's guess. Maybe some kind of hidden transponder snail. Now, it is noted that since Kizaru can become light itself, he should have an easier time entering the Lab of Fate. But Kizaru, as not to disrespect Sentomaru, decides that he'll take on his old friend first. So he heads on in, and with Sentomaru, it is very good observation hockey, noticing that Kizaru has made his way towards him. He orders the pacifistas and the sea beasts to go all out. And with Kizaru's arrival on the island, Luffy senses it. A great and powerful fighter. Now that Kizaru is on Egghead, what devastation will he wrought? Especially since, well, they don't want him doing too much damage. So let's find out, shall we? Oh, wow, an actual cover page with all the Straw Hats on it. Oh wait, no, I'm mistaken. Robin and Frankie aren't here. But it's nice to see Sanji and Jinbei actually working together on something, because there's this preconceived notion that Sanji still has this hatred towards Jinbei, but I think it's not that deep. And man, that pizza looks cheesy. I want pizza now. And I just ate. Alright, we pick up outside of Egghead. The Marine vessels ready themselves for combat. This is chapter 1091. Sentomaru. Okay. Sentomaru's gonna show his stuff. An announcement comes from the Marine fleet. Admiral Kizaru is in the field. Get ready for enemy reaction. Sure enough, the pacifistas ready their lasers. The Marines call out, don't let them shoot those lasers. Fire the cannons. And then they unleash their cannons on the pacifistas. But some of the ships end up shaking as well. And the people call out, the sea beast weapons are attacking. And man, you can see just how devastating these sea beasts are, as each one of them takes down one Marine ship easily. The men yell out, open fire! The Vice Admiral, with too many chins, starts heating up, and he uses a bionic fist. Oh, he almost kind of makes me think of Z or Zed from Film Z. He uses Steam Knuckle and punches one of the sea beasts, cold clocking it right in the face. Now as the pacifista gets ready to fire, in comes Vice Admiral Dahl, saying, not the ships, you're dealing with us. And she kicks the pacifista right in the face. Dang, man. Okay, these Vice Admirals are no joke. They're dealing with these pacifistas just as easily as we saw Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji deal with the pacifistas when they came back from The time skip. A Marine announces over the loudspeaker, the Vice Admirals have made landfall. And we see several Vice Admirals getting in on the pacifistas. We then cut over in the Labo phase, where Usopp, observing things on the camera, says, they're fighting at the coast. It's the Navy against the Robo Sea Beast. Vegapunk says, right now, with Sentomaru leading the pacifistas, the island's defenses are utterly impenetrable. And we have the pacifista authority hierarchy, from the 5 elders at the top, then the Vegapunks, plus the Stella and the Satellites, then Sentomaru, then those with the authority chip. Usopp says, isn't that why he showed up? To take out Sentomaru? Nami says, Kizaru, Stussy was right. They sent an admiral here. Brooke says, this brings me back to some very unpleasant memories from the Sabaody archipelago. Yeah, sent a lot of people when this started happening. Usopp then says, they're fighting right below us. Vegapunk says, I'm sorry, Sentomaru. This fight is too cruel to ask of you. I won't blame you for running away. He said after sending him out into this in the first place. We then pick up with Kizaru doing that light speed kick on Sentomaru. Sentomaru blocks it, but he's sent flying backwards. Kizaru says, hurry up and surrender. You know you want to, Sentomaru. Kizaru then uses Yasakani Sacred Jewel, firing off multiple light blasts at Sentomaru. Sentomaru sees it coming and starts running. He screams out, sorry old man, but I made a promise with Straw Hat Luffy. He sees his axe and grabs it. Kizaru says, since when did you side with pirates? As Sentomaru takes his axe and launches himself towards Kizaru, he says, I'll take the side of anyone who creates an escape route for the man who saved my life. Sentomaru takes a swing at Kizaru, but Kizaru uses his light ability to avoid the attack. We then pick up with Sentomaru's flashback. Yeah, because we heard about his life through an SBS, that he was a really strong kid back in the day. So strong that people feared him. And he met Vegapunk when Vegapunk was asked to go out and stop some bears. We see Sentomaru having taken down several really strong looking bears. With someone saying, hey, they asked us to hunt these bears. Who is that? A child? Oh, a younger Vegapunk and Kizaru. The young Sentomaru says, I hate the villagers. They're so weak. Ain't going back there. Kizaru says, you got kicked out, huh? Sentomaru says, I'm so tough I don't even get hungry. But I still want a job. I want money. The younger Vegapunk says, oh, is there something you want to buy with that money? Sentomaru says, onigiri. And Kizaru starts to laugh. Kizaru in present day reminisces, you were so adorable back then. The Vegapunk of the past asks Sentomaru, how would you like to be my bodyguard, boy? Sentomaru says, you're giving me a job? I'll take it. Then Sentomaru asks Kizaru, hey old man, how am I supposed to protect Punk? Tell me. And Kizaru says, excuse me? You see this youthful skin? Kizaru of the present says, I taught you everything I could, young Sentomaru. Sentomaru then delivers a strike saying, sumo strike, knocking back Kizaru just a bit. Kizaru says, but my defense is just as tough as yours. He then unleashes a laser blast that knocks Sentomaru back, causing a massive explosion. The explosion is so massive, the Marines can see it from the coast. Kizaru then brings out his authority chip, saying, pacifistas, now that your control tower is unconscious, there's a change of plan. Help the naval battleship sink the Sea Beast weapon. The pacifistas hear this and start to attack the Sea Beast. The Marines call out, the pacifistas have changed tactics. Back on the ship, Saturn says, it's a shame, but if we can only keep one, it should be the pacifistas. Give me a report of the damages from the last few minutes. And one of the Marines Saturn was in contact with says, yes sir. Okay. Makes sense. It's a good tactic to have. Lowers any casualties they'd have on their side. Back on the Labo phase, Usopp sees what happened, saying Sentomaru's down. Vegapunk cries out, and he tells the others, hurry, take that shield system down. Atlas says, I know. While Vegapunk crying says, we can't let Sentomaru's sacrifice go to waste. Although York calls out, forget it, I'm Vegapunk too. Meanwhile, back with Kizaru, looks like he looks up towards the Labo phase as Vegapunk calls out, Kizaru is light itself. He'll pass right through the laser barrier. Usopp startled, saying, what? You mean he's coming in here? Vegapunk says, yes. Usopp says, but he totally wiped the floor with us years back. Kizaru then says, the Straw Hat crew. We had some times together. And he ports himself up towards the Labo phase. Someone calls out, hurry up. Once the barrier comes down, we're out of here. We see the Vega Force 1 carrying the Thousand Sunny, with Lilith saying, all good so far. Just gotta take the ship around back. I'm guessing Frankie says, please do. Suddenly an alarm goes off with Luffy going, huh? Frankie asks, what's this about, Lilith? I love that both Luffy and Body are already eaten. Lilith says, an emergency alarm. Why? No one should be able to get in. And as Kizaru makes his way in, he says, checklist to keep safe. The power plant, Punk Records, York, who is actually a friend it turns out. Checklist to be eliminated, Dr. Vegapunk. Inside the lab, Usopp says, Kizaru's inside the dome. Nami says, Luffy's group is out front. Usopp says, run away, Luffy. While Brook says, oh no, that can't be good. Vegapunk says, the barrier's not going down until the ship's been moved into place. Uh-oh. Stussy notices something, and as Satori flies up, Rob Lucci goes in on Vegapunk, only for Stussy to take the hit from Rob Lucci's Shigan. Gee. Would Stussy have known Iron Body, or then again, Lucci might be a little bit tougher than she is? Vegapunk looks on in shock as Stussy hits the ground. He calls out, Stussy. Robin says, what? Stussy? Sanji says, I'll take this, Nami, and seals Kaku with one of the sea prism stone bubbles. Kaku says, hey, what gives? A bubble gun? Sanji tells Kaku, looks like he left you behind. Kaku says, what? As Zoro goes in on Rob Lucci, who uses Haki to defend himself, clashing with Zoro's swords with his leg. Zoro says, so you got back up and you thought you could make your move, huh? Rob Lucci says, between Kizaru and me, you're all dead. Zoro says that you don't know us very well, and he sends himself and Lucci flying out of the building. Meanwhile, with Kizaru, he spots the robot running with the Sunny and says, no wonder I didn't see the ship on shore. It was up here. Lilith says, hurry, hurry. He's an admiral. What do we do, Luffy? Huh? Luffy? Kizaru spots Luffy approaching him, saying, hello there. Long time no. But before he can say anything else, Luffy's already going on Kizaru with a hockey-filled kick. Kizaru says, very bad manners. Then Luffy smiles, saying, Kizaru, compared to 2 years ago, we're 100 times stronger now. Alright, Luffy versus Kizaru. That'll be fun. But Zoro versus Rob Lucci. Interesting. Not a matchup I ever would have thought we'd see. Although, oddly enough, One Piece Stampede actually foreshadowed this. No. It was Sanji versus Rob Lucci that was foreshadowed. So close, but no cigar. Though that would be a matchup that'd be pretty awesome. Kaku was already kind of out of the fight, so putting him in the bubble is just kind of like, just in case. I do feel bad for Kaku. I would love to see Kaku get into an actual fight, though. And now with all those Vice Admirals on the shore, who knows what other fights will go down, because Robin is still injured and she's pretty heavy hitter. Pretty hard to say where things are going to go from here on out, but I'm really interested in what happens next. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Sentomaru did about as well as I would expect, though. Held his own for a bit, but I didn't see him beating Kizaru, or even Kizaru letting him get in a lot of hits either. Very reminiscent of Garp's fight with Aokiji, though, just in terms of the emotion. But the Marines are coming with a pretty damn good plan. Let's see how like Samoni this actually ends up being. So like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride, and until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.